Hello. Since my lovely co-teacher Megan has already submitted the introductory lecture, I'm going to dive right into the assignment and answer the questions. Number 1. What name do you want to be known by? Ian is my name, so that's what I'll probably be going by. It's kind of strange since the Google Hangouts for Lizzie Bennet Diaries started. I've been more and more known by people who come to them as Ian instead of my comfortable Tumblr handle. My Tumblr handle, by the way, is IB Miller. I'm also that on LiveJournal, which is where I was first a member of Fandom. I'm Miller number 1 anywhere that's connected by my Google account, and I'm IBM Miller on Twitter because a middle-aged contractor stole IB Miller. Number 2, what is my history with the Lizzie Bennet Diaries, and why did I start? I started watching because a friend who's a nerd fighter, which I'm not, sadly, told me about it because she knew I was a big Jane Austen nerd, and since I was, I started with episode 1 and have been a big fan ever since. Number 3, how involved am I in the Lizzie Bennet Diaries fandom? I've posted a few things on LiveJournal. I'm fairly active on Tumblr. I've posted a couple videos about it on YouTube. I've written, I think right now, 3 fanfic for it, very short, travels, and I'm somewhat regular in the Google Plus Hangouts as much as my work schedule permits, and I show the videos, the first 3 videos, to my students every semester. Number 4, what other fandoms am I in, and do any of them interact with Lizzie Bennet Diaries? Jane Austen, obviously, I'm a fan of, and that interacts with Lizzie Bennet somewhat. There's some people who were part of the fandom beforehand, but most of us are relatively new to the Jane Austen fandom, at least in terms of being active in it. Some of us have followed it, but weren't really active in the Jane Austen fandom, which is something to talk about later. I love animated films like The Incredibles and Beauty and the Beast and Tangled and Wreck-It Ralph. Buffy, Firefly, Star Wars, superheroes, classic literature, young adult novels, fantasy, science fiction, mystery, detective novels, Sherlock Holmes, Lord Peter Wimsey. I have a fairly wide-ranging taste in fandoms since I've been a fan since I was probably about 13. But if you ever talk to me in a chat, or if we ever do a chat for this class, you'll quickly find out why people like to call the chats I'm in Ian likes to hate everything, because my opinions are very idiosyncratic. I do have a lot of things I don't find as enthralling as other fans, but I don't hate everything, which leads to number 5. Who is my favorite character in Lizzie Bennet Diaries and why? My favorite character is Jane Bennet. I find myself challenged to be a better person by her kindness. I really enjoy seeing her love and care for other people, and I think she's really funny. I love Jane in the novel. I love Jane in almost every adaptation. She is my favorite character in Pride and Prejudice, and still my favorite character in Lizzie Bennet Diaries. Which is not to say I don't love Lizzie, and I like Lydia okay, and I like Charlotte, and Darcy's great, and Bing is great, but Jane and Lizzie, Jane especially, is my favorite. Am I familiar with the original Pride and Prejudice novel and or any other adaptations? I am. When I first read Pride and Prejudice, I was 13 and couldn't get past the first chapter because I was stupid. When I was 17, I read it the whole way through, and then read it again, and read it again in a month. I love it. I have seen almost all adaptations I know of that are easily available. There are several from between 1940 and 1980 that I haven't been able to get my hands on, but I don't think very many people have seen those, so I've seen pretty much anything after 1980. Number 7, have I read any of the Jane Austen? I have read all of Jane Austen's novels and most of her short works. Emma is my favorite. What are some issues I hope to discuss in this class? Question 8. I'd love to discuss the way fans interact with each other, the issues of adaptation, the strengths and weaknesses of the Lizzie Bennet Diaries when it's compared to the novel and to other adaptations. Number 9, is there anything else I would like you to know? I try not to be a jerk, but sometimes I fail at that. But I will try to make that right. Number 10, what do I want from this class? I want a great time. I want everyone involved to have a great time. And I would really love it if I could equip other fans and friends with tools with which they could interact with fan fiction and meta and the original episodes and other fans. I just want to give people confidence and abilities to be involved in fandom in more and not better, but just more ways. All right. Check out the assignments post, reblog, and fill in your own answers, and we look forward to seeing you next week.